I'm Sean Norton. I live in Holliston, Massachusetts, and I sculpt. I make sculptures for like venues. I bring them to clubs and festivals and parties and stuff of that nature. I also paint, cast things in aluminum, cast bronze, I weld, I fabricate, I like to build stuff in general, I guess. I built lots of things, strange things that come out of my head out of whatever medium is available. I usually work predominantly like my day job, I guess you'd say, landscaping, is usually up in like Wellesley and Natick and Weston. I guess the difference between the work that I do versus the work that most landscapers do is we don't mow lawns. We'll go to somebody's backyard, gut the whole thing, we design it all and build it to our specs. Sometimes you're like really into it, you're doing something cool. Like I'm about to work on a waterfall, so that's exciting. I think of it as an art form because we do get that fancy with it. I would do something else if I didn't like it. I work with my brothers, I work with my dad. It's nice to work with a family member where you can be real with them. So working for my dad, he wants me to do art. He'll let me take a day off if I gotta go do something sort of thing, but I still gotta not throw him under the bus. My style of art's pretty, I don't know, I want it to be fun and happy and not so intense, I guess. I don't want it to be so sterile. I want it to be interactive. I want people to touch things for the most part. I guess my style of art is all over the place, but I guess I try not to be too serious about it. I don't want it to be like kept in a glass case. I mean, I'd prefer to make things all durable. That's kind of why I like making sculptures, I guess, because for the most part they're more interactive and you can touch them and move around and they change sort of as you go around them. You get new perspectives. I went to UMass Dartmouth. I actually chose that school because of its facilities and it had like some of the best equipment. I don't know, I've never been like a cheese and wine kind of artist where we all go and talk about it a lot. I was trying to go to learn craft and to learn how to do the things that I wanted to do and not just like talk about it, because that seemed easy for me and I didn't need to talk about it. I'd have to say making a living off of art is a pretty tricky situation. Unless you're gonna it's really hard to work, make money as an artist in the beginning. So you're almost inevitably gonna have to do two things. So I guess they prepare you for getting your things into galleries. They give you like the processes, but they don't hand anything to you. You gotta go out and like find a community that fits you, and that's where you kind of gotta know where you're at. I couldn't bring my stuff down to Cape Cod and, sell it as like the sailboats and sunset paintings. You gotta know your demographic, I guess. I guess that was the part of my school that I was kind of like wondering if I'd gone to a more expensive school, if the teachers would have been more profound. I guess the teachers weren't real showing artists, they weren't like in galleries, they weren't traveling, they didn't have shows going on. Music sculpted my life quite a bit. I started that in college and I got involved with going to like these electronic, crazy new things I had never heard and crazy new things to look at, and everything was new and exciting and grand and explosive, and I don't know, I just liked it for the experience at first, and then I started to really like a lot of the music, and that sort of led me to the cool group of people that I make art with now. It's hard to go full-blown artist and like live off your art, I guess. If you're just an artist creating your own art all the time, that's great, but it's really hard unless you're like pumping out art and bringing it to galleries and managing all of that, and it's quite extensive and shipping everything everywhere, and it's a lot. You gotta like kind of work up to something like that. Paintings are more of just a way for me to get an idea out, or a sketch sort of. It's definitely much easier to sell a painting, and it's much easier to transport. I can bring like 30 paintings somewhere, like if I want to bring one sculpture, it's like I gotta get the truck, and then I gotta pad it, and I gotta secure it, and even if it's not a very fragile thing, I still gotta do that. Spray paint I like because it's so quick. I guess that's what drew me to it, I guess, really, is I could kind of like quickly bust out an idea or a sketch, and then I kind of have a guideline or something, and then I can work things out quicker. I always like sculptures more. They're way more impressive. There's a lot more to them. It's more of getting the resources and time to
do them because they take a lot more of everything, and that's why they're better at the end. I try and stay out there all day if I'm doing a sculpture. I literally would, I would rather not come in to eat. I'd rather stay out there and just keep working on it. I usually get really into those, and I usually kind of obsess about it a little. Usually you're making stuff for other people, so that's why I haven't gotten a job making things for other people, because then I won't have time to make the things I want to make. It sucks sometimes when you don't have time to do things. It sucks when you don't have the money to do things. There has to be a balance. I mean, you gotta work. I don't know how people expect to go through life and not work. People usually don't know anything about how much time and effort goes into things. Sometimes people ask me, like, oh, how long did that take you? Like, that orange monster that I call Wonky, the bigger one that's got the crazy light up eyeball, I call Wonkington. The foam one, that took me like 500 hours. I don't know, what's that times 10 bucks an hour? 5 grand? That's not even talking about materials, so I don't know. When you say that to somebody, they kind of step back, and it's like I can't even begin to combine my materials, my minimum wage or labor cost before somebody is already upset about me saying that number, so I don't know. Most people don't want to pay for what it really is. They value the eye candy, but they don't value the message or the work that went into it, really. I don't know. It's hard to find somebody who actually really is willing to buy a sculpture. I guess I would also want to just kind of say that it really does make a difference when you have a community of people to work with, because once you leave college, that community's gone, and it is kind of a little hard. I understand why a lot of people, once they leave college, find it hard to kind of work on art, because now you're not in an environment where people care about art even, or you have the tools or anything. So it is really important to do it with people and have a community, and I've kept in touch with a few of my friends, and we get together and we will do collaborators. We'll paint some big, huge board, and you know what? It's good to have other people to work with. It's good to interact. Someday, I want to open up a sculpture park. So I would like to buy a big old chunk of land, like I'm talking a couple 100 acres would be nice, and just litter it with amazing sculptures, and people could come and check it out. I could host festivals there. It could be a campground. I want to live there. I want to have a lot of space to enjoy outside. I like being outside. I really enjoy my job outside. So I guess I'm working hard at my job now. So maybe someday I could retire and enjoy a sculpture park that I could create and invite people to, and invite art installations to be at. Art is a pain in the ass, but it's usually worth it.